welcome back to season 7 of our show, and the holiday time is in full effect. We got a beautiful thick cut pork chop for you coming up with a couple of holiday sides. Let's show you how to get it done. So right here we have some loin chops for you, bone in. Now I always like to leave the bone on the loin chop because it dries out fast and it dries out real easy. So I always leave that extra bone on there just to bring in extra moisture. So the first thing we're going to do is get these seasoned up. The way I'm going to season them, you'll be able to go on a grill with them, or you'll be able to pan fry them up in a pan. So I'm seasoning them as if you were to go into a pan or go onto the grill. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my herbs in here. So I got some rosemary. I'm just going to break these up and put them in here, just like that. Now this is going to take some time, and anytime that you cook, you always want to put love into your food and let that time just be what it is. So I'm going to rip this up. I'm going to take some garlic, just stow it in here. I'm just doing this to glide through and show you what we're doing, but we're just going to do one batch for you. Make all this yours. If you want more garlic, just put it in. And this is just oregano here, so I'm just going to take a couple of pieces off of here. I'm going to take a lemon. Here's my lemon. I'm just going to slice it. And I'm going to drop just a little bit of lemon juice in here just to get this going. I'm going to use that just to protect it for the seeds, and then just give that a little squeeze. So now we got a little lemon in here. So what we're doing is just making a marinade. Oil. This is avocado oil. I'm going to get that in there. And then we're just going to mash it up. So take the mortar and pestle and just go to work on it. So just like that, I'm going to mix it all around. And I'm going to mix up a good batch of this. So I'm going to get this mixed up, and I'm going to meet you right back here and show you how to get this onto the chop. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our herbs are all ground up. Let's show you what to do from here. Doesn't that look beautiful? So you're going to need a spatula. Just scrape all the walls around it, just like that. So just take a spoon, and we're going to just sprinkle onto these pork chops. Now it is important that you don't put this spoon back inside this mortar, because if you touch anything, see me, I just rinse my mortar out. I put some mortar in here and I leave all that nice flavor in here. So I don't wash my mortar out and pestle. So I just wipe it out, rinse it with some water, give it a wipe, and it's back on the shelf. But if you put something like meat in there, you could get bacteria in there that grows, and you don't want that. All right, so there we go. Black pepper. I'm using a pretty thick gauge. So just like that. And then salt. So salt them up pretty good. Now if you're going out with the grill, you're going to need more salt. If you go in the pan, a little bit less. That grill just seems to suck up the salt and take more of it. All right, so just like that, I'm going to rub this around. Just kind of pat it in. Now this has got oil in it. It's got lemon. It's got everything you need in here, so you don't need anything else. So just pat that in. I'm going to flip these over, just like this, and then I'm going to repeat. But you see the little bit of ingredients that we put inside that mortar and pestle. It just made a lot of this. So a lot of people are going to ask, why don't you just put this in a chopper and chop this up, right? Well, if you put this in a chopper, you're not going to get all the flavors out of the rosemary, out of the garlic. It's just not going to release the oils. You're not going to get the same product. By putting it inside the mortar and pestle and beating it up, oh, you're going to bring out 1,000% of the flavor out of this. It's nothing close to putting this in a chopper. And you use a lot less. So you have a little bit of rosemary or anything. It's going to go 50 times as far using this. And that's it. I'm going to repeat this process just like that. Little black pepper. And just get all this rubbed in. Man, you can smell this right now. It smells amazing. Nothing beats a mortar and pestle. I mean, sometimes I go fast and I want to use the chopper, but you know, if you're not lazy and you put your time in and you put some love into the dish, believe me, you're going to taste it, and everybody else that comes to your house will taste it as well too. Friends and family will definitely know the difference, and they'll wonder why theirs doesn't come out anywhere as good as yours. And the reason why, you took your time, used the mortar and pestle, and put love into your dish. All right, that's it. I'm going to park these in the fridge, and then we're going to meet you back here and show you how to put this entire meal together. It's a beautiful holiday meal, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, those pork chops are marinating away. It's chilly outside. Nothing goes better on a night like tonight than a little soup. Let's show you how to get it done. So we're making a little bean soup, black-eyed pea bean soup. Right here I got 2 ham shakes, 2.5 pounds each. I got some vegetables here, carrot, onion, celery, black-eyed peas, the star of the show, crushed tomatoes. Those are whole crushed tomatoes, and we got some cavatelli pasta here. So first thing you want to do is create a stock. So into the pressure cooker we go with these guys. Now I'm going to pressure cook these down. I want the meat to fall right off the bone on here. I'm going to put just a little onion in, just a little bit, just to bring out some flavor in here. And that's it. Very simple stock. I'm not going to put any salt in there because it's all in the cure to those shanks. A little water. Now I want a lot of stock, so I'm going to bring it up to about there. That's going to give us enough stock, and we're going to lock on 50 minutes. And we'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got our ham shakes cooking down. Now we need to saute down some vegetables. So we're going to saute down our onions, our celery, and our carrots. Let's get it done. All right, we got a little olive oil in the bottom of this pot. We got the mirepoix here, the celery, the onion, and the carrot. So we go right in. We're going to add a pinch of salt. A couple of pinches, and that's it. And we're going to cook this down slowly. So what we want to do is just sweat this down. So just like that, and just let it cook slowly. You don't want to burn this, you just want to bring out the flavor that's in here. We're making a soup, so you want gentle flavors. And that's it. We're going to sweat this down, and we'll meet you back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so we got these onions and the carrots nice and sweated down, and the celery. Here's our beans. We go right in with them. Now, I'm using a pound. You're gonna have to judge it out. And judge it out to what will fit in your pots. So just like that. Here's our tomatoes. So we're going in with our tomato. Those are those crushed tomatoes. Those are Cinto. San Marzan. We're just gonna stir this up. And now we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for our pressure cooker to stop. We're gonna put it inside this pot along with the stock. And then we're gonna let this cook down for a good hour, hour and a half. And when we do that, we're gonna meet you back here and finish up this pot. So for now, we're gonna turn off our fire and we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait for that pressure cooker to come to an end. We'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our shanks are out of the pressure cooker. Let's show you what to do from here. So here's our shanks. Now, we pulled these out, and they're not done yet because the meat didn't fall off of the bone. So we're gonna put them inside these beans. Just like that. Now, we need some liquid, so here's that stock we made. I'm gonna take this out. We're just gonna start to add some of that beautiful broth in there. See that? We're gonna go right up to the brim with it. Just like that. Now that is how many years I have in and how long I've been cooking. And if you know your pots and you know your volume, you'll be spot on just like that every single time. So we're just gonna stir this around These black-eyed peas need to cook. And what we'll do is just cook this pot down. And right before it's done, we'll season it up. And now you got all that flavor in here. Doesn't that look fantastic? All right, we're gonna drop the lid on this, and onto the stove it goes for about an hour and a half. All right, time to add a little oregano to this. Look at that. It's cooking down fantastic. See that? We're just waiting for that meat to come falling off the bone. This is why we gave you that head start. See that? It's getting there. You can see it loose. But the beans in here, they're not done yet. Everything will come together right on time. While we're doing that, we're gonna add just a touch of oregano in here. Just like that. Bring some more flavor. And we're gonna salt at the end because we don't know how salty that shank is. That was smoked and cured, that's what that is. Now, I smoke and cure these a couple times a year, but they stay in the freezer for about 3 months. That's about it. They don't last too long in this house. We're gonna let this go, and then we're gonna meet you back here when it's time to pull the meat off the bone. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Soup's done. Time to get our pasta in. All right, we got that soup off the stove. Let's fry some chops. So the first thing we're gonna do is fry up our vegetables. I got mushrooms, onions, bell peppers. Those are green bell peppers. This is how much tallow we're gonna need to fry in. And we got a little fat here. This is bacon. A little sage here for some flavor. We're not putting in any salt until the end. We're gonna taste these vegetables and we're gonna salt them. These are gonna go on top of those pork chops. And we're gonna show you how we're gonna put them on top of the pork chops. But the first thing we need to get out of the way is the veggies. Let's get it done. All right, so we got this bacon rendering down in the tallow. Our sage is in there. We're bringing out the flavor out of the sage. Just when you see some fat coming out of the bacon, we're gonna go in with some onion and bell pepper. And then take it just like that, put it all in. Now I'm not gonna put my mushroom in yet, till I cook some of the water out of here. Otherwise you're gonna be stuck with soup. Now, this stove is not that powerful. It's not like my professional stove where I can go out, jack up the heat and get this done. I'm gonna have to do this in smaller batches. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because most people have a stove with this type of output. So, get this done first. Let's bring some water out of them, saute them down, and then we're gonna put our mushrooms in, which are gonna release more water. And then we'll meet you back here when we're ready to do that. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, our peppers and onions are coming along beautifully. And now at this point, you wanna put a little salt. And a bit of pepper, just a little black pepper in there. Make the amount yours. We got a lot of veggies here, so we're gonna need a good amount of that black pepper. Give it a stir, just like that. We got about 10 minutes on these vegetables. Let's get these nice mushrooms in. So just like that. We're gonna give these guys a stir. You wanna get them down to the bottom. So just start to mix them in. Just like that. And you can hear the pan cool down as they're going down on the bottom. So just like that. Get them on bottom of the pan. And let them cook down. It's gonna take about a good 20 minutes for all this to cook down. 20, 25 minutes, realistically. I got a big pot here. If I had half the amount, it'd be about 10 minutes. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. I just want to show you guys this. Take a look at this. I slid all of our peppers and onions and mushrooms to this side, but when I put the mushrooms in, look at that. That's soup. So what you want to do is just move all your peppers and onions and mushrooms to one side. Now you could do two things. You could spoon this out, but I'm dragging it halfway off the eye, and I'm leaving all the heat on this spot right here, and I'm going to evaporate this out. Then I'm just going to push everything back over. That's the easiest, simplest way to do it if you overcrowd your pan and you have a lot of liquid there like that. Otherwise everything's going to come out mushy and soggy. So I'm going to leave it on there. About 2-3 minutes, it'll be out of there. We'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, our peppers, onions, and mushrooms are now cooked down. This is as far as I'm letting them go. So I'm going to get these off the heat, and we're going to cook our chops up and put this together. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, those veggies are done. Time to fry some chops. Let's get it done. We're going to fry a couple of these at a time. Just like that. And we'll meet you back here when we take these guys out of here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so we're just going to brown these up to see what we're doing. We're not cooking them all the way through. We're just getting them nice and brown. We're going to get a nice char in here and we're going to pull them out of here. And we'll meet you back here when they're all browned up. When we pull them out, they're going in the oven. We'll show you how to get them in the oven. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Those chops are caramelized. Let's show you what to do from here. Alright, so here's our mushrooms, peppers, and onions. We put them in a nice little tray here. The cast iron tray. Here's the pork chops. So I'm just going to get these in just like that. And we're just going to put the peppers and onions around them. We're not going to cover them, just put them around them. Make a little bed here, just like that. And work them in, and just put the peppers and onions around them. You got to keep all that nice moisture in them. And it's going to allow them to cook. So just like that. And I'll just fit them all in. And then we're going to meet you to put them in the oven, so stick around, don't go anywhere. Alright, 25 minutes on the clock, that's all we need. Meet you right back here. Alright, chops are in the oven. Last stop on this train, some steak fries and some yellow grits. Let's show you how to get them done. So we're making some steak fries. I got some oil heating up to 375 degrees. We broke down a couple of potatoes, peeled them, cut them, and this is how we did it. I got them soaking in water just because I want to get that starch out of there. So we're going to go straight through. These are big potatoes. I'm sure yours won't be as big. And just go straight through like that. And then we're just going to take our knife and just follow the edge of the potato. Simple, but extremely effective. So just like that, and we're going to meet you on the stove, so stick around. Alright, here we go. Now, I'm not using a basket for these because they're so big, so I'm just dropping them in one at a time. I'm going to watch my bubbles and make sure this doesn't over bubble. And there we have it. We'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, time to pull these. Take a look at those. They're looking right. Alright, I'm going to get these on the table, let them rest, finish up our fries, and get our grits on. We'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we double fried these about 3 minutes in. We took the first batch out and then we put them off to the side. And now we're going to put the first batch back in and then we're going to fry again. So this is called a double fry. And we do that with real thick potatoes like this, so they get crispy. And they're not going to be limp and soggy. So that's why we do that. All right, we're going to fry up that batch, put these back in, and then we're going to meet you back here, cook some grits. And plate up, soup's up, stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, our chops are resting, our fries are fried, and the soup is hot. Last stop on this train, saffron grits. Let's show you how to get them done. So right here we have some old-fashioned grits. I got a little water in here, some butter. It's a whole stick of butter. Saffron. We're gonna put a couple of threads of saffron in here. Just like that. Cumin seed. That's right, cumin seed. These are a very special grit. A couple of seeds and some salt. You're gonna need a good amount of that salt in here. So just like that. And there it is. All right, use the rest of the saffron. Onto the stove we go. All right, so everything's nice and melted down. The butter's melted. The water's come to a slight boil. I'm just adding our grits. And you just want to add them slow. Now I showed you the ingredients. If you guys have any difficulty making grits, you might want to read the box. All right, we're going to finish this up, meet you back here. And we're going to start with some soup, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are on the chopping block of season 7, a 2-course meal, and we're serving the black eyed pea soup first. Let's show you what we got. Now that is one spectacular soup. I'm going to show you these nice shanks in here. Remember we said we were just going to let them fall apart? So here we are. I'm just going to start pulling out some of these bones that are in here and park them off to the side. The good thing about these bones, nobody will choke on them. See that? That's what I mean by fall off the bone. So we're going to take this one out. I'm going to leave the other one in for now, but we will remove this one. And I'm going to get into this beautiful soup. Now the way I serve my soup, I'm very light on the salt. See that nice bone in there? I'm very light on the salt, and I'm very light on the pepper, because I find soup to be a very personal thing. And not everybody likes a bunch of peppery soup, and not everybody likes a bunch of salty soup. Now I happen to love salty soups. Let me just get these bones out of here. And my favorite salty soup is minestrone. But you see that? Cooked down to perfection, and all those bones just come right out. And the rest will just kind of fall apart, but look at everything. Everything is just intact and beautiful. So let's bring in a bowl. And you got plenty of veggies in here. Now normally, I put about 5 shanks in here. I'll make a nice big pot. And we'll just have it for the week. Any company that comes by, you get a beautiful soup. Get a little bit more. And we'll just clean this plate up. Just like that. And there it is. I mean, how beautiful is that? Then I usually put my salt on myself. Just like that. And the black pepper, just a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit more because I happen to like the black pepper. And that's it. Now we got these beautiful cavatelli here. You can add these right into your soup. So just like that, you can add them in. And then you got these guys in here too. So that's what I usually do. And I park them off to the side. Just because you don't want these guys getting mushy in the soup. And you can have that soup for a few days. So if you just put them in just like this, you can see them just sitting right on top. Let's give this a shot. That is the perfect soup for a day like today. That ham shake just permeates the soup. The black eyed peas are creamy, rich. You can taste all the vegetables in there, and that broth is out of this world. Fantastic broth. That is what you need. That's the base of the soup. That's everything. Without a good broth, the soup is just lost. It's just soup. All right, we're gonna get organized. We're gonna meet you right back here for the second course, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, that soup hit the spot, and we are back on season 7's chopping block with the main course. Let's show you what we got. Look at them chops. They're looking right. Now, one thing you don't have to do is worry about that drying out because we got all that beautiful broth in there. The vegetables keeping them nice, moist, and tender. And those saffron and grits. That makes a pretty plate. And of course, we got those steak fries. Let's get into it. The first thing we'll do is get some grits onto this plate. And as you can see, these grits are nice and creamy, and they move easily. You're going to want them to move easily, so you can do this. Just come right smack dab in the middle of the plate. So there you go. Center mass. They're going to spread anyway, so make sure you don't go too far with them. All right, so there we go. I'm going to roll them around just a tad. Then we're going to get a nice pork chop in here. I'm going to put it right in the middle of those grits, just like that. Let's clean this plate up before we top it. And then now we're going to hit them with some of those beautiful mushrooms, peppers, and onion. Right over the top. And you can see that this feeds a lot. And it looks stunning. There it is. Now what I like to do is throw a couple of these nice steak fries just right on the side of the plate. I feel that we need some starch, and there it is. A couple of these steak fries, we'll just wrap them right around. And there we have it. A luxurious, beautiful pork chop plate. All right, I'm going to spin this around. We're going to get into it. Let's give that pork chop a try. See that? Cooked perfectly. That's what you're looking for. We're going to get some grits in here with it. A little of those mushrooms. And onions. This pork chop is cooked spot on, packed with just tremendous amounts of flavor. The rosemary, the garlic, those grits kick in with the cumin and the saffron. And those french fries on the side, they fill this plate up perfectly with just that touch of starch. The mushrooms and onions, it just matches phenomenally. All right, we're gonna get organized. We're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. One outrageous, beautiful 2-course meal. Starting with that phenomenal soup. We also top this off with some peppers, saffron and grits, french fries on the side. Those are steak fries. I hope you guys enjoy this meal. I hope you guys make this. It packs outrageous flavors, and it's extremely fun to make. Like always, we thank you guys for coming. And with no further ado, you gotta get that last Pitmaster fry there.